Last week on Sustain the Plains, we discussed how Texas created groundwater districts to manage use of water held in aquifers beneath the state. Texas further focused its water planning efforts in 1997 when the legislature established a new bottom-up consensus-building approach.
What they tried to do was sort of bring all of the groundwater districts in one aquifer or one big area of an aquifer together so that they would be planning the same water source together.
The regional water planning groups in place today are made up of local and regional stakeholders. Brent Auberman represents the interest of higher education on the Panhandle Water Planning Group, Region A.
There are seats at the table for agriculture, agricultural producers, for environmentalist groups, for municipalities. Let's see, for water districts. Those are the ones that I can recall off the top of my head.
Every 5 years, the regions create updated plans for water use in their areas. The plans include conservation measures and large capital projects that may be needed in the future to extend the life of an aquifer. They also set a desired future condition. In other words, they define how much groundwater is available now and how much they hope will be available in the future. And a common rule of thumb in regions of the Panhandle and South Plains is to plan for ensuring that 50% of the water in an area will be available in 50 years.
It's a balancing test. Of course, you're looking at, we call them user groups. And those are the people that are using groundwater within your district, what they use it for, what you anticipate their current and then projected needs are going to be, and how you plan to achieve them.
Of course, the further out we go, the less reliable probably our estimates are, but we do the best we can in identifying trends in population, human population, as well as livestock numbers, and then the availability of water, especially groundwater, but surface water as well to the extent it exists in the Panhandle.
Let me pause Brent here to define a term for you. Brent's going to use the phrase saturated thickness. Imagine a fish tank filled with grains and rocks of all different sizes. When you pour water in, what happens? It fills the space between those things, right? That's what an aquifer is like, a saturated area of boulders, rocks, and grain. It's not a lake. So saturated thickness essentially means the depth of the water-saturated zone within the aquifer. Here's Brent again.
If we project that in 50 years we'll have at least 50% of what we have today remaining, that's what that really refers to. So if we had 100 feet of saturated thickness now, 50 years from now, we would hope to have at least 50 feet of saturated thickness underneath us. Then if you projected that forward another 50-50, we would go from 50 feet of saturated thickness down to 25 in the next 50 years. And you can see that the way that that plays out, it doesn't ever go to zero. You're just cutting in half and half and half. So I think the 50 in 50 is a reflection of the physical reality of the aquifer. It becomes harder and harder to pump it, harder and harder to find it, and it won't go to zero because we can't afford to drive it to zero.
I'm going to go back to the desired future conditions. Is that aggressive enough for the state of our aquifer at this time?
That's a very good question. And that's something that is vetted in depth. Each round of planning, all the estimates of the current and projected demand use of the aquifer is considered.
The science of an aquifer is not consistent. It's not a monolith. So 50% means, and we're already seeing this, that a lot of landowners are not going to have water or good quality water under their land. So depending on where your land is, that may essentially mean 0 in 50.
The last state water plan came out in 2022. Regional water planning groups across Texas submitted updates to their water plans early this year. Once approved by the Texas Water Development Board, the draft regional plans will become part of a 2026 statewide water plan. Water for the future of our state and our region depends on decisions being made today. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and we'll keep you in the know.
At Panhandle PBS, our reliable news reporting and fact-based storytelling has always been free. We're proud to offer our work for free thanks to generous support of viewers like you. If you appreciate our journalism and would like to see it continue, please consider making a donation to Panhandle PBS today.